right, GM guys, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it's watching us from. I want to say thank you for joining us here again. Very excited to start off this moment with us, and I call it a moment because that's what it is. Yeah, a beautiful moment, and we're glad that we are making progress one way or the other for the community of those who join us right here on YouTube, and very much soon we'll get this over to X. Trying to think around that and how to, people on X. If there is a way I could live stream on Telegram, I would super be excited to be able to do that while live on YouTube. I'm gonna be excited if there's a way I could find a way of using the RTMP live streaming code. Anyways, I want to say thank you for joining us again today. It's David Guild here, and your host, as always, bringing you the daily dose with the market analysis as of today, the 12th day in the month of January 2026. I almost said 25. And for me, I think I'm super elated, have you all join us take minute progress today, and I am so excited to be able to to have you guys with us. Today we have a very few things to address. I trying to ensure I get these live first, so folks and friends I want to join us in analyzing the market and seeing the weekly forecasts for this particular week. Meanwhile, as you can see on the screen, there is a code for you to join us on BitGet Live. On BitGet Trade, there is a TradFi season we've gotten into in BitGet where you could trade gold, euro, and every other pair. And this makes it more purposeful for us while we do this live stream, not just so we can get you guys to trade on BitGet, but then so you can clear perspective of what the market is all about and what the market is going to do this particular week, right? This particular. So I think it's very important for us to hit that and to go ahead with where we are, right? So I think it's great for us to zone down on what we're going to be covering today. Is going to be a weekly macro and sentiment overview and a forecast into this week, right? We did forecasted what's going to be happening to gold this week, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the market structure at higher time frame levels to respect this week, and trade scenarios and execution guidelines, likely point and time to trade, and when patient is great importance. I think these are things we would be covering in the course of our live stream today. I would appreciate it if you guys can subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would be super happy, and trust me, going to be a great one for me to have you guys subscribe to our YouTube. I'm trying to check if we currently are live. I think we are, and related because something funny almost happened last week, and again able to find a way to go above that, right? So I'm very much excited and very much glad we are making progress as it stands today. Okay, without any further delay, we've got to dive into the meat of today's session. No holding back, I guess. Let's begin with the review of the previous week. Now, if you remember the last video we made, giving you guys a clear forecast on what we think the market is apparently doing. The market is already, for gold, right, which all you can see, we have our eyes on this point, and we're like, it's going to take out the previous week high. 4.6 is like going to be happening. I think it already happened. You guys can see that our forecast is. I really wish. Okay, this is. We take the screenshot and drop somewhere. I think we did I'm like, we're gonna come back and check this out. Oh boy, yeah, I think we did, yeah. So this was the forecast we get specifically for, and I'm gonna be making this post on X, right, to right, make guys see what our forecast was like for gold. We're like, hey, gold is gonna be taking out the previous week high, and it's yeah, it's gonna be trading around 4,000. So we made this forecast, all right, last week, all right, during our live stream for XAU. So I'm trying to make guys so see that stating that there is a draw on liquidity through the 4,600 zone on gold. The likelihood for a sell. So I mean, so we have to put that right so that folks who are perhaps considering maybe coming or not coming, I'm gonna probably take a short on gold. I'm gonna risk it. I know the proper thing to do is probably wait for a shift in structure, and I think it's proper, but I'm gonna risk a short on gold. I know it's very, very ridiculous, but I'm thinking of taking it right now. I'm not joking. I'm thinking of taking a very huge short on gold, right? Yeah, I'm thinking of doing that. Sound very might say smart, but I think I'm gonna take a short on gold at the point where it is. I know it's a new week candle. We're gonna look at the old market thing before we think of placing a short, but I'm just telling you what I'm likely gonna be doing. Mind, right, instinctively, all because of what I'm seeing the gold market do. Is now we have given a forecast of it. So let's begin with a 1 week chart. So we would have a rundown on what the market is gonna be doing from that perspective. So this is it. The 1 week candle opened that, and there's not much details other than the market is printed way more higher. And because we have some clear-cut stance on the market analysis, we would at the market the way it is. I think with the daily candle open, it's time for us to not react, but I think I want us to respond to it, because reacting is not going to be that way. To explain, I'll use the word explain carefully, explain what I think the market is likely going to do. So what is it with gold and where we are? Are we on gold? What are the fundamentals that are currently making rounds with the pricing of gold, right? So I think for me it's clear that the current strong demand on gold is being due to the apparent explosion in the stock market that is not loud enough, but folks are beginning to see gold and of course silver as alternative. I might just probably risk a short on gold right now. I know the proper thing is to wait for a break of structure. I'm thinking of that. And sometimes you know so much, and then you still want to go to breach your principles. Sometimes I'm just gonna wait for any break of structure one way or the other. But I think I'm gonna risk the short on a bigger account that can hit the moves on gold, right? So let's just do it. Back. I was explaining something on gold. What I was explaining on gold is simple, which is this: that there's a likely, expectation for gold selling from where it is at, and all these are clear because of fundamentals we seem seeing on gold. I'm probably gonna risk. Thinking of doing, but then I think let me look at it from the chart perspective. So the daily time frame has just, and I think my thought is the candle is gonna as a week. My thought could be wrong. But then from what has happened and what has played out, what do you think is happening right? I think the weekly candle grabbing liquidity above the previous weeks is actually going to be, closing inward. No jokes. I have a high conviction for a likely drop on gold from where it is at. I could be very wrong, but I'm very much having that, nudge, right? Very strong nudge for a sell on gold from where it is right now. Now, the weekly candle, closing this way, and the new weekly candle opening this way. One could be a suggestion, and as you all can see on the screen, right? Could be a suggestion, and by suggestion I mean, indicator for indicator of a bullish market continuation, right? That the market is likely going to be continuing bullish, right? But then again, it could be a what do you call this now? It could be a what do you call it? A Judas's move, right? I'm going to explain. By that I mean it could just be an uncertain price movement. I mean that a deliberately done. Don't forget we are liquidity grabbed above here. Market took liquidity on this candle and it didn't take out this point, and until the market takes out this one, we are not certain of a bearish market yet. And as it stands now, there is a likely bullish intent in gold. On the weekly time frame, the week candle opening upwards is likely suggestive of a bearish movement downward. But that's not very much conclusive. You all know how that works, and it's very necessary to see what exactly the market is doing on a daily time. Daily time frame, the same thing gold, opening upwards, and of course we know the London session had just happened, and in the moment of time we're going to be having a new. Just having this very short live stream moment with you guys, and I'm going to be wrapping up very much. So what do I see? Well, have I seen exhaustion? Maybe just this candle weak, and as the market goes into a point of engagement, yes, it has. And what is that suggesting? It's suggesting the market likely could drop or could continue from that point. Nothing is very much certain. And why then am I thinking of going to take it an entry? Because that's my point of entry, and it resting above the previous week's liquidity. I think there could be a massive drop, and it's just for a tentative grab on liquidity to this short time. So it's a worthy risk, and the stop loss is going to be very tight. I'm going to be showing what I mean. On a 1 hour chart, look at this. We definitely haven't seen so much of market pricing going to shift structure yet. I mean, we are not seeing that yet. Don't forget, I think and somewhat believe that we just could see some interesting price actions today. I think so. And I'm being honest with you guys, you better need to believe that right now. So wanting you to understand something about the trade of gold, a very unusual market that calls for deep learning. Now look at this. On 1 hour charts, we can carefully map out. This was the point where we're thinking of taking a buy. The market didn't get there. It's very likely the market comes back there. Anyways, liquidity is serious and below here. But then this is a key level the market broke. What does this suggest to us? It suggests breaking above this key level. And of course, we're saying this key level because some persons are still looking at the likelihood of a sell right here, because the buy liquidity was taken right above here, right? It took it out. And it shifted structure, and we expected a sell from this point. But then it went literally above this point. In fact, this is the point I should have taken my buy from. When it went above this critical structure and it's retested key psychological level, this key psychological level, I should have taken a buy from. Yeah, I didn't. So what do you think market is going to be coming back to retest? It's going to retest right here. So if anyone is taking a short from here, where is the likely? So this liquidity is the best point to first primarily exist. I'm going to be showing you what I mean. Come with me to the 30 minutes chart. I'm not going to take so much time on gold, and I'm going to run down on Bitcoin and some few cryptos, right? I think that's purely it. So just wanted to check our live stream out and ensure and to see, yeah, that our streaming content is very much affected. You know what I'm talking about, right? So I think this is part of what we want to ensure we do every time we get to view our live sessions. So okay, all right, I think for me it's looking like we're making a very great deal of progress. It's just that our network sometimes it comes and goes. I want you guys to bear with me. So now this is it. What do you see right on gold? It has made highs and lows, which means it has taken out buy sides and it has not yet taken out sell side liquidity. So there is clearly a sell side liquidity resting here. Let me just put it that way. So this is a previous week high. I'm just going to shift this line. Yeah. So that was taken out, and that tells you the market is explosively bullish, still bullish, and the market is no longer bullish, at least for the interim. When this flip zone is taken out, at least one needs to be taken out. This flip zone. And once the flip zone is taken out, then we can begin to reconsider on our bullish stance. And then, of course, finally, once this point is taken out entirely, we know gold is prime for a critical free fall. Anyways, we have all of those clearly stated. Now, look at this. Due to for me in looking at the sell side liquidity, what do you get on the sell side? Just going to mark that out with that and show you that there's a liquidity resting underneath the pricing for 1,560 on gold. So, and if that is clear, that implies that there is a need for us to have this structure taken for us to expect the continuation or a full retracement. Now, what this is saying in essence, yes, the market has it a record shifts, right? By this, like having a shifted structure upwards a little, and it's not so much huge, and liquidity above the point it got to at 4,600. But in a sense, I would say it has been taken. Permit me to perhaps resting above this body of this kind. And so when the market takes out this liquidity, and then be ready to think of a continuation. If I look up right here, mark out for you guys, and another one. Where do you think is my expectation for exiting the short here? My expectation for taking this long is region. Because I must be honest with myself, if anybody wants to really trade fun, trade well in crypto, I mean in forex, you've got to tell yourself nothing but the truth. So what was the reason that inspired the short? Well, nothing much other than the fact that the expansion has made a very critical eye our point of entry, our interest, our point of interest, right? And that's our POI, and the expansion was going to correct. Other than those, I don't even think I saw a 1 minute. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not. Yeah, I didn't check for that. I checked. US is just happening on a 1 minute chart, so that implies that even if I wanted to take a trade, this is the best of time I should have waited for to take my trade after this particular break of structure, and then can consider taking my trade. So with this right now, I think if you're gonna be asking me, hey, so David, where do you think of taking a profit on this short you took? It's gonna be like 4,561.5. Honestly speaking, 4,561.5. And why do I want to hold it on to that point? Well, simple. Because I think I the likelihood of the market dropping that way. But again, don't forget, this is a shift of structure that's happened right away. And what this is telling me on the 1 minute chart is simply I must then trade on the retracement. So let me take this carefully. Market took liquidity like that, buy sides, and this is now going to form my decision. Close it right away. Where is it? US. So I risked that. I don't think I risked it. So if it shifted more, I'm just going to exit and then wait for proper retracement. Take a bank on this sell. So I think trading without what do they call it now? Without art beating is the best way of trading the market. So there you go. Now, how far can this expand? We're trading. We actually took a short. How far can this expand? Well, from my own perspective, I would say I can't say. It stops right there. Then this is the point of the next entry, and it should successfully as liquidity, and perhaps stop at somewhere around this key level for gold. So when it stops around there, then we can think of taking a new sell. So I think I'm just gonna probably exit this trade, and then oh boy, there's a massive drop that happened. Right? Crazy. So I think let's just exit trade, and I think so, and then wait for the retracement up to that 1 minute chart. So I think not a bad point to exit. I made a funny entry, but I think I made a funny exit time. Not bad. So I think it's yeah, it's a good way to just look at the markets. Because I'm telling you guys, how the shifted structure, there is no assurance of what do you call that right now? Assurance of taking a trade. I'm being honest with you. I'm just probably gonna be closing this my gold short. Oh, let me just leave it. Or if I should or not. But then I think it's proper for me to just wait for the retracement. Is my reason for saying I'm probably going to be closing this trade, right? Yeah, it could drop more. That's the truth. So the sharp drop, and that means we made a very good entry on that trade. So let me just close it at 100. This one. It's a proper count, anyways. I don't think it's some big money somewhere there. No, we just wanted to check out what we do with